Hey there, everybody. It's Lee Smart here from the Second City, and I'm very pleased to be here in the Careego offices with a very special guest today. It's Steve Hetherington. He is an associate consultant. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. We're here today to talk about looking for work. I mean, that's what Careego is all about in a nutshell, is finding employment, finding careers. We're going to talk a little bit about looking for work in difficult economic times. All right, and then we've all had this affect us over the past year or so in various different ways. Looking for work can be pretty scary to actually step into the marketplace when things aren't as booming in the economy. So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm going to make a statement first of all, just to kick things off here, to sort of prompt our conversation. I'll make a statement, you just tell me exactly what you feel about it, all right?
Sure, go for it.
Here we go. I need to make a career change, but I'm worried about finding something else, especially in these difficult economic times. What do you think of that?
It is a tough market out there. It really is. And, you know, the doom and gloom as we sit under a cloudy sky today, it really does look like that in the economy at times. And people are thinking about if they're actually in a job at this time. This is not the right time to look for a job change. But there are opportunities out there. It's a little tougher. There's more competition. But it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of planning. And with that, anybody can make a change at this point.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, it's true, it's true. So let's talk about some of the realities. Obviously, as I said a second ago, it's a different economic climate. So in a boom time, there's a lot more opportunities. There are fewer opportunities now, probably more competition. So what are some of the realities of actually stepping out there into the marketplace? What are some of the things you want to be on the lookout for that you're going to have to, you might encounter as challenges?
Certainly you want to know yourself. If you don't know yourself very well or what you want, that can be the biggest stumbling block. People go, I need to make a change.
Yeah.
And when you ask them, so what's that change look like? They have no idea.
Oh, right.
So you have to be honest with yourself. What do you like? What are you happy with? What are you not happy with? You need to start with yourself before you actually start exploring what those other opportunities are. Because if you don't know who you are or what you're looking for, you'll find the wrong thing and then just be unhappy again.
So let's talk a little bit about managing your career or highlighting those things that you talked about in terms of what are your strengths. What are some of the ways we can go about sort of figuring out and determining what those things
Certainly
are?
know yourself. You know, the better you know yourself, the better the way you can promote yourself to other people.
Great.
Know what your top skills are. But a lot of times, stop and take a look and see what do I like and what I don't like. Some people aren't clear of exactly what they're looking for. You know, start with what you're not happy with and what you don't like, because that will lead you to what you might like or explore in those areas. But you also can just talk to friends or old colleagues who can say, you were good at this, you have strong communications, you're really good with problem solving. You may not realize them, they just may come natural. But ask around. Someone will give you an honest answer.
Yeah, I like that. The idea that non-traditional things, like not hard skills, but soft skills, the things that we do naturally because we enjoy them, they're probably going to lead you in the direction of, here's a competitive advantage, right?
Very much so. You have your hard skills, your hard technical skills, what you're really good at, perhaps on your resume, really easily defined. The softer skills, that's what makes the difference.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a good communicator, you're a good people person, you can communicate with this group and that group, it makes a big difference.
So in terms of, we talked a little bit about competitive advantages. Like, so let's say we identify our strengths. We have a laundry list of things that we do really, really well. That's only half the battle, right? As we just mentioned, turning those things, making those attractive within the marketplace, that's something we need to focus on too.
Very much. You need to package those strengths up and come up with a brand or a focus or a target for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, look at the different strengths you have and say, where would these apply? Maybe they don't apply to the area, the industry you've worked in before, the type of job. You know, you can always look at transferable skills. Might work in one market, could work completely well in a number of other different areas. So take a look at those. You know, market them around, see what else might be out there where they fit. Take a scope of what other people are doing in different roles and say, hey, I have those typical skills. I've never used them in that area, but I could certainly use them here. Great way to do that. But package it up. Have a focus and a target and put it all together.
I love that. I love that. The idea of planning, focusing on it. And I think, obviously, since we're talking with you here at Careego, that's something you guys are experts at. So you're going to be able to bring some insight to that and help us along that path as well, you know, as a consultant, as a coach, someone to help us move in that direction. I love that idea.
Yeah, very much. You know, a coach, a consultant, a guide. I often say to people, you're driving the car and I just have the roadmap and help you show where the turns are.
I like that. I like that. It's a great analogy. It's very good. So, you know, let's shift gears a second here. Looking for work in this kind of economic climate, some people might be considering making a change to become a consultant or an independent contractor. Is that more challenging to do now? Are there different strategies for doing something like that?
There is, to some extent. Certainly going contracting, consulting, you have to be comfortable with it. I was certainly someone who was always very much a corporate 9 to 5. I have to have my benefits and my full-time job. The security there has changed a little bit, the way that works. Contracting consulting opens up so many options. You do have to have a feel for it. It's a different type of work. You've got to, go from contract to contract. You may have to, find your own clients, which means doing sales and marketing. But it's possible. It opens up so many options for people who may have an expertise and skills that they can share between multiple clients. Going contracting is great because some companies can't afford headcount, but they can certainly afford contractors on short-term, 3 or 6 month contracts. Those are great opportunities. People go on leaves of absence, go for 6 months or a year, opening up contract positions. They're great places to gain experience with new companies that you may never have had a chance to work for before.
I love that. I love that idea that there's a whole landscape out there of things that are possible that sometimes we just don't focus on or think about, that there are opportunities that are available to us. And having that focus, and once again in consultation with you guys right here, is going to help us identify those areas. All right, Steve, we're going to do something a little fun, a little different right now. Are you game for that?
Sure, let's go for it.
Oh, yeah. I love your attitude and enthusiasm. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw out some words that relate to career management, things like that, looking for work, etc. And I want you to say the very first concept or thought that comes into mind, okay?
All right.
All right, here we go. Here's our first word. Achievement.
Goals. You need to know what your goals are to make those achievements.
Excellent, excellent. Organization.
Task list. Set a list. Write it down. If you don't know what you're going to do tomorrow, you probably won't do it.
Excellent, excellent. Empowerment.
Look into your heart. Look into your soul. Sometimes empowerment comes from within. It may come from outside as well, but start with yourself.
Excellent, excellent. One last thing. Diagnosis.
Look for the symptoms. If you're in a current role that you're not happy with, what are the symptoms of why you're not happy? And be able to diagnose where it's going to take you forward to.
Steve, you scored 100%.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent is right. That's our cheering section in the back there. Good job, Steve. Thank you once again very much. It's been a pleasure.
This has been fun. Thanks a lot.